Hello again and welcome to another Beyond All Reason video. Today we are back on the map Silent Sea, where we recently saw a great naval battle with lots of battleships on. So we have today Goopy and Barcast. Both players choosing to not opt for what the previous video we saw. I believe it was Ragnar start on this high ground position here, and it was either Teddy or Andy spawned in this position where Barcast currently is. So both players taking the lower ground to start off with. Now what we ended up seeing last time we saw this map is that both players had a pretty strong hold over the economy on their island, which meant that the early game was a lot slower. Now, that does open up quite a few different avenues for attack. So we may see some early air raids here, maybe a hovercraft start, potentially, to get that early raiding on this economy of Barcast, for example. One thing we didn't see much of was the use of the islands in the corners here. There is 3 metal extractors on these islands, and I believe it was only Ragnar that took advantage of that, building some economy in that bottom corner. And being that it's such a sharp hill, it means that not much can get there, I think, except for air. We can see both players have now picked their factories, with Goopy going bot and Barcast going bot. Both players just aiming to get this early metal extractions on their base. Now, with both of their start positions, I can probably see both of them transitioning to Navy pretty early on. I foresee their plans are build some units just to cover in case of hovers, get a bit of an economy going with some expansion engineers. Once all your engineers are starting to expand, with the commander walk up to the water and start building a naval plant, which neither player is actually doing. Goopy may actually be... Nope, I thought Goopy was going to maybe go for a very forward naval factory. Now, obviously there's advantages to that. If Goopy was to, say, build a naval lab here, it is more exposed from attacks. However, your units are able to get out to the front line a lot quicker, and it's always more difficult to push a enemy factory, because even if you kill the units they have initially defending that, it's still continuously pushing out units. So you just need to have more forces than you would deem necessary in order to actually manage to take it out and force the enemy out of the water. Now, with this map, water being quite a key aspect of it, surprisingly, neither player has yet gone any form of aggressive units. Could argue that Barcast here is maybe overbuilt grunts. Because of how many he's got, I'm guessing he's expecting some form of attack here, but so far, these units are completely pointless. And he is building 8 of them. That's quite a lot. Whereas we do actually now see a transition to hovercrafts from Goopy. Now, there are metal points in the map in the water. Not many though, so I would say they're not really worth focusing on too much. And we see a spectator not knowing what a hovercraft lab is. That is what that is. And halberds. Now, being Cortex, I don't really like these Caimans. They don't seem to have much in the way of damage. Both players are Cortex though, and we see Barcast deciding to go naval. I feel like this might be the better option, because once you control the sea, as we saw in the last time we saw this map, That is one of the key factors. Now, the downside being is that the naval units can't really impact the economy of the opposing player, with the exception of obviously these wins here, and you'd need to have something to be able to hit. And they would obviously be able to hit these energy converters as well quite easily. Barcast underestimating his skills. He's a very good player, very good YouTuber as well. If you haven't watched any of his content in the past, definitely give it a look. I would argue that he's the one that actually inspired me to do casts in the first place. Otherwise, you would be getting a lot less content from me. So it's good that he kind of pointed me in that direction to begin with. Goopy with a very, very, very forward naval plant. That is ballsy as heck. Although he's decided to change his mind. Maybe just using it as bait? Now we see some early harass. Well, I say early. We're 6 minutes in. Can't really call that early for hovercrafts. Goopy's commander slowly whittling down stuff. Doesn't actually have the energy really to fire this as much. You see the chunks as his fires that bonk, no energy. They're really strong though, these halberds. They are very slow. Don't quite know what Goopy's planning to do with his this commander. His commander seems to be trying to extract metal from Barcast's base. Don't see that working out too well here. And surprisingly, Barcast not building any form of submarines. Is Goopy even aware of where his commander is? Yes, he is. What is he planning on doing? Some of this drawing is obviously from spectators, not from myself, so just bear that in mind. Now these halberds will do a decent job, but they're very expensive. 640 metal, which for the same cost, you know, you can get 3/4 of a destroyer. Yeah, very tanky though. Surprisingly, not attacking any of the economy of Barcast, deciding to purely concentrate on harassing the ships. Now, these raiders are not going to do anything, especially when assault frigates are basically made to counter raiders. Barcast using his commander here to get all of the reclaim in the sea, which is a very good idea. A lot of reclaim to be had there. And the halberd starts to make land here, but with only 35% health, I don't know how much damage this is going to get out. He also doesn't have really enough energy production just yet to make full use of the halberd. And if that does die, that's a lot of reclaim. So he needs to be careful of that. He needs a couple more of those and then push in and get some decent damage on the go. Goopy falling back, getting a sea lab a bit further back. These assault frigates are just absolutely destroying any of these goons. And I don't know if he realizes he's just sending them right towards this sea here. Fortunately, this has just got no health. This is not going to survive very long at all. He is trying to micro it, but these goons again. A lot of them, but the assault frigates just destroy destroying them. Not able really to clear up anything there. Goopy getting some submarines out. And Barcast actually reclaimed his naval lab. Interesting. And is transitioning to air. Now, he does have a decent force of boats, which if he can keep alive, will do well. But it does mean that he now has no way of defending his boats from the submarines. And with that, probably will only be a matter of time until this naval force is completely destroyed. Goopy going to where the boat lab was, but it's completely gone. And Barcast starting to produce bombers. And this energy converter mech, as we mentioned earlier on, is going to quickly blow up here. The halberd that is on 20% health managed to make its way all the way back and dies very quickly. Unfortunately here, Goopy with nothing really to stop these assault frigates. And the choice to not go boats early on really causing Goopy some problems. And unfortunately, rather than sending these subs to deal with all these boats, he's just sending them forward instead. Now, surely Goopy must know something's up with the boat that's gone. He must think he's going T2 Navy or something. Nano's air's coming in. Not rushing to build any form of AA. Oh, he's now rushing to build hover AA. Goopy actually calling GG. Wow, we see here that Goopy deciding to go those early hovers has lost him a lot of control, lost a lot of energy, and he's called GG but hasn't actually resigned yet, so we'll see if he's able to pull it back. Where are these subs on the top? This is a thing. Goopy was constantly sending those raiders to like attack the boats, but he would have instead maybe been pushing the economy. There's only so many grunts he had. You push that economy, there's not much he's able to do about it. Quickly look at Goopy's perspective here. Again, look, reacting with those hovers, but these are not doing anything. Goons are not going to do anything against it. You get mopped up so quickly. And he's just continuing to build them. I know the halberds are a lot more expensive. Like, a lot more expensive. And he doesn't have the energy to build them at the moment. But it may be better maybe transition into these Caymans. At least they'll survive a bit longer. I mean, his idea is to just overwhelm the enemy and get the flanking damage to get more damage off, which it does work every now and again, but he's losing so many forces to kill a single assault frigate that I don't know if it's worth it. He needs to get that reclaim though. There's 1.4k metal reclaim in that water. But we're starting to see Barcast here with, you know, more air coming out. Shurikens as well, which will, you know, deal with all these goons. And now Barcast is actually starting to get some torpedoes as well, which will deal with the 3 subs that Goopy has. Goopy needs to go on the attack. He needs to go on the offensive now. start causing some economy damage to Barcast. Force Barcast to react to him instead. And here we go. Goopy making a push. Where were those air defense hovercraft that he had? Not there. There's a good amount of wind damage going on. Is he going to continue? He is. No anti-air. If there was anti-air here, that would have killed Barcast's commander. Oh my goodness, Barcast's commander gets shot out of the sky by the hovercrafts. And ends up with a Goopy victory that was unexpected. Bit of a mistake there from Barcast. Must have meant to drop his commander off, and unfortunately that lost him the game. Very unexpected turn of events there, but thank you all for watching. I hope this was entertaining for you at least, and I'll see you guys next time.